Hi, my name's Joe. I am still a fat black belt, and I am home from the awkward trip I took this weekend. I wanted to talk a little bit about how that went. We are going to talk about the food, the overall goodness or badness thereof. We're going to talk about fitness over the course of the weekend, and a little bit of ideological sabotage that I want to talk about. If you have been keeping an eye on my shorts, then you saw a lot of this unfold in real time, but let's talk about it. I went up to visit my mother. It was lovely, by the way. Her condo association has a big party the weekend after 4th of July, which my kids love. It's like one of their favorite things. So food was actually pretty good. Despite every effort made on behalf of my mother and everybody in the entire city to ensure that it wasn't. For example, the first night there, she ordered pizza from my favorite childhood pizza place. Now, I did have a piece of that pizza, but I also dug around in her fridge until I found some whitefish, like some broiled whitefish tacos that were actually pretty good. So I had those first, so I didn't end up eating tons of pizza. I call that a win. The potluck was hard, and it isn't just because someone brought a bowl of arugula and called it a salad. There was just so much stuff there that looked great, and I was hungry because we had been prepping for the party by the time we got there, and I basically did the best I could. The plate that I actually ended up eating is recorded elsewhere. But it was like a burger and some tomatoes, and then a bunch of there's some 3-bean salad and stuff like that. That was hard to do. This party had free all-you-can-eat ice cream, people. That was a trick. And ultimately what I did was I went up there, I asked him for a half a scoop of something, I ate a couple of bites of that, and because I didn't pay for it, I didn't feel too bad about tossing the rest of it. So I got to have the experience without, trust me, previous years, I would have put that guy out of business. And I probably could have this year. Anyway, it's fine. We did some meals out after that, and there are times when eating out is pretty tricky, right? We went to a very nice restaurant in town. There's a lot of stomping happening there. We went to a pretty nice restaurant in town, and I did not mind, especially because I saved up a lot of my sort of food load from earlier in the day. I didn't mind blowing it all on some lake perch, which is delicious. That was fine. We went to the movies after, and because I had just eaten some perch, I did not really have popcorn. I had like a couple of bites, but not, I didn't eat like a bucket of popcorn. I got a bottle of water and kind of kept myself satiated that way, and the movie was really good. Go see Superman. Fitness was diegetic, right? I played with the kids. They got these cool handheld water scooter things, and my son wanted to race me, and I got some news. I am still faster than a water scooter, but only a little, and only for 4 laps. Because after 4 laps, I did not have it in me. My arms were blown out, and I was completely useless. So I basically did some sprints, and then I just played in the water with the kids, and I got a lot of exercise that way. I took my half sword up, the broken one, to do some sword forms, and I just never got around to it. I was wrecked. I was really exhausted. My body hurt. The thing about vacation sleep, I find, is it's either really good or really bad. And if it's really bad, I'm not really going to benefit from a full workout anyway. It's going to be an intellectual exercise, but the physical part of it is, unless you're prepping for something, I just let it go. I just threw it all into play and didn't stress too much about it. I want to talk a little bit about this sort of sabotage concept, right? There are 4 ways that I kind of could have, and in some cases did a little bit, screw myself this weekend. Obviously, you've got the buffet mentality, right? You're like, well, I'm here. I might as well. Somebody made this strawberry pie that looks like soup. I might as well eat it. It's even worse when it's somebody that you knew your whole life, right? So fine. I understand that. And if that's the only thing you're doing that day, go ahead. But I knew I wanted to do other stuff that day, so I didn't dig in there. I saved what I could. Another one is places without food options. I went to a place, I got some fish. Their side options were beans and fries. And I was like, okay, fine, give me fries. That's okay. That happens. The fries, as it turns out, were actually a pretty small portion of thin cut. They were fine. And I didn't know when I was ordering them that they were probably the best option for me on the menu. I'm glad it worked out. But if it had gone the other way, it's just not the biggest deal ever. The movies are a big one for me because for me, the popcorn and the soda is sort of part of the ritual of going to a movie. That is the Hollywood sacrament part of the ritual. And so, I had a couple of bites. I got a diet soda. I got a bottle of water. It was fine. It's tricky if I'm going on my own, if I'm the only one eating the popcorn, because then I can't take a couple of bites. I got the whole, what am I going to do? Even if you get the small one, it's a lot of popcorn, right? But the thing I wanted to talk about most today is this idea of what's on the menu versus what is in reality on your plate. And this is why going out to eat can be tricky. This is what I ordered: grilled snapper, steamed vegetables, plain baked potato. That sounds like a very healthy meal, and it wasn't a reasonably healthy meal. But the snapper came with this weird cream and cheese-based pico de gallo on top of it, which is not my thing. I took it off, but I'm willing to wager that weird cream and cheese-based pico de gallo was probably 200 calories worth of condiment, right? The grilled vegetables came in butter and cheese. What is that? Or the steamed vegetables came with butter and cheese. Those aren't steamed vegetables. The plain baked potato that I ordered came, and she brought the butter and the sour cream just in case I changed my mind. And I do not blame the restaurant for this. I do not blame the server for trying to be prepped. That's their job, is to make food super delicious. And the server, I certainly don't blame for trying to, get ahead of future requests. It was busy in there. But it does make things hard, right? This is why when people say, when you're trying to eat healthier, people say, well, it's going to be a lot easier if you cook your own food. And it is going to be a lot easier if you cook your own food. I think if you know how to order in a restaurant and if you have the self-control, you can do that, right? On the way up to the vacation, I drove the kids through Wendy's to get food, and I got a chicken wrap, like 2 chicken wraps with no dressing and a baked potato, which I think is a perfectly serviceable, healthy option at Wendy's, the best you're probably going to get there. But you got to know it's there. You got to dig through the menu. You have to think ahead of time. Do I want ranch dressing on a chicken wrap? Why would I want ranch dressing on a chicken wrap? And I don't think most people give that much thought to their food. You have to know that you can order a plain baked potato and just put salt and pepper on it at Wendy's. And I don't know. It's not on the menu, right? All the options on the menu have toppings on them. So there is an amount of planning ahead. There's an amount of rational thought that has to go into it. And I'm not always great at that. And it's so much easier. It's so much easier to pull up to a Wendy's and give them a number and a size, and that's the thing you get, because that's how that system is designed to work. And unfortunately, that system is designed to put a huge amount of calories in your body, quickly. And that's great if you're starving. That's great if you have a healthy metabolism and you're only doing it every once in a while. But if you're someone like me who ends up doing that more often than you want, then you have to start thinking harder about it if you want it to become a part of a healthy lifestyle. So there we are. Anyway, I think the weekend went okay despite the lack of sleep. I am going to rest up, get back into the healthy swing of things, and we will see on Wednesday how hard this couple of days hit me. I'll catch you later.